It's Chris Smith time. Oh, hello, everybody. It's me, Chris Smith. And guess what? We're moving closer to the finish line of our week-long series of reviews of Broadway shows that I saw while I was in New York in May. And we're celebrating Tony Awards week, which is concluding with the big awards ceremony on Sunday, June 8th. So, today I am reviewing the sixth show that I saw during the 4 days that I was in New York, and that is Boop, the musical, which is playing at the Broadhurst Theatre. Now, I was very excited when I heard that Boop was coming because my mother always told me about Betty Boop when I was a wee lad. My mother was born in 1928, and Betty Boop is from the 1930s and beyond, and was often in a series of cartoons and short films, black and white, and Betty Boop was playing all different kinds of careers, different kinds of situations and adventures, always being chased around by men, and apparently beating them in the head, as we find out in the show. Now, this played in Chicago last, I think it was November 18th. It started in Chicago for a tryout, and it was actually in 2023, so it was November 19th, 2023, and I was already instantly obsessed with it because they had a song, and I followed them on social media, and they had a song called Why Look Around the Corner. And when I heard the snippet of the song, and it was like a curtain call scene, and it was so colorful, the song was so beautiful, I said, this show, if all the music is as good as that song, then they've got something. And you could instantly tell from just the little clips and pictures and things that this actress, Jasmine Amy Rogers, is going to be a star. Okay, so anyway, let's look at the playbill. Here is the cover. I think this is very clever. I'm always talking about the title design, the poster design. This is very clever how they have the actual legs of, I'm assuming that those are the actual legs of Jasmine Amy Rogers. Why would you get someone else's legs? And then look how marvelous this is done. The elbow is human. Then we move into up here, the shoulder, the hand. It's all perfectly lined up in pen and ink. Just wonderful. It's so simple. I love the boop. They were on the Today Show, and Al Roker kept saying boop. He said it's so much fun to say, and it really is. Here's the interior of the playbill. Of course, I always say you can see these online. You can see the pictures up close. The book is by Bob Martin, who also wrote the book for Smash. So he has two musicals on the boards right now on Broadway, and he's not nominated for either of them for book. So Smash and Boop were left out of the book category. In fact, they were both left out of many categories. The music is by David Foster, who, is a legend in the music business. Produced many great artists and has had many hits over the years. And the lyrics are by Susan Birkenhead. The show is directed and choreographed by the great Jerry Mitchell. And you have Faith Prince in this show. You have Stephen DeRosa as Grampy. You have Eric Bergen. But of course, the big star, of course, is Jasmine Amy Rogers and Pudgy, the little dog. Now I am wearing my Boop shirt. Let me show it to you. I showed it to you on another video. It's so hard to see it. Here, hold on. Look, I feel like one of those fan dancers. But I wanted you to see the shirt. Isn't that marvelous? And it's so hard to show you with me in the shirt. Oh, isn't Betty Boop just the cutest? But look at Pudgy, the little puppy. How cute. Oh. Ah. So yes, they have this cute little marionette of Pudgy, the dog, who's like a little puppy. And he practically steals the show. Now here's the cast. In this show, and look, you can see a little bit of Pudgy right there with Philip Huber, who is the puppeteer. Cast list. Musical numbers. Now in this show, and it's, you know, it's a little fantastical. It's a silly musical comedy, of course. You're not going to necessarily say, oh, that was very realistic. Betty Boop comes out of the black and white world of the cartoons and comes to our modern world, sort of almost a cartoon version of New York. It's very colorful. It's a little more sanitized than our actual New York. And she encounters a little girl at sort of a Comic-Con type thing who thinks that she's in, like, doing Betty Boop cosplay. The little girl, luckily, Betty runs into a little girl that's obsessed with Betty Boop. What are the chances? And she also meets this jazz musician named Dwayne, who's sort of almost like a big brother to the little girl. He's not her brother, and he's sort of like the chauffeur of the lady who's cares for the little girl. She's not her mother, but she's her guardian. And Betty is pretending not to be Betty Boop. She left the black and white world because Grampy had a time machine that was like a chair, and she could get in the time machine, transport herself to the modern world. But what's funny is they use like a lot of cartoon imagery on a screen to feature other characters that were different. I don't know all the characters, different animals or whatnot that were in the cartoons but aren't necessarily in this show. Seems like there was a giant giraffe or something. Don't yell at me in the comments if I'm mistaken. Here's the rest of the cast. Bum, 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 bum. Everybody seemed to be having so much fun. And oh my goodness, those costumes are so beautiful and so colorful. I'm just happy that they got a costume nomination. Now, let's talk about the Tony nominations. Boop did receive, and they've gotten a lot of good other nominations and even some wins. They got a lot of Drama Desk Award nominations, including Best Musical, Best Outstanding Music, Outstanding Book of a Musical, Outstanding Choreography, which they won for Jerry Mitchell, Outstanding Direction, Outstanding Lead Performance for Jasmine Amy Rogers, which they won, and they also won the Costume Design Award for for Greg Barnes. The scenic design, well, they were nominated for Drama Desk for David Rockwell and Finn Ross's projections. The orchestrations were nominated, lighting design, and outstanding wig and hair. I didn't even know that was a category. That's marvelous. They got 3 Drama League Award nominations. They got a bunch of Outer Critics Circle Awards nominations. And they won for Jerry Mitchell's choreography. Jasmine Amy Rogers won for lead actress in a musical. And again, the costume design won. So it's been those 3 things that keep getting mentioned. But I really love the music by David Foster and Susan Birken. Is it Birkenhead? Yes, Birkenhead. And I must say, these characters are based on characters created by Max Fleischer. Okay, here is the poster. So again, so simple. I love the black and white. I love the white background, the red lettering, the real skin tones mixed with the ink, as I said. Everything about this is just perfect. There's this little, and I got the magnet. There's this little stuffed animal of Pudgy. Let me show you. Okay, so wouldn't you know it, the things that I wanted the most were sold out at the theater and online on the site. Pudgy, the stuffed animal, they say his ears are bendable. And I also wanted this Betty Boop the musical, mugs, because they're so red. Just love the red. Isn't that amazing? Sold out. But they say they hope to get more in. We'll see. What else? I really would have loved this to have gotten more nominations for the music. The songs are so happy. Look at these happy lyrics and listen. Why look around the corner when it's all right here? Why waste a day thinking, hey, what about next year? Too many ifs and maybes whispering into your ear. Why look around the corner when it's all right here? Isn't that just lovely and such good advice for procrastinators like myself? Oh, and here's another exciting thing. The day that this video is going to be posted, on June 6th, is the day that the full cast recording is released digitally, I believe, of Boop, so you can hear it all for yourself. They've only had 4 songs officially released on like Spotify, and every day at work I play the same 4 songs over and over. It's almost like working at It's a Small World after all, because of course I play other things too, but I could just listen to those 4 songs forever. Oh, and let me show you the actual marionette of that dog. Okay, here he is in a Santa hat. The little tongue moves and everything. I would show you videos and stuff on here. Here he is like at a red carpet. And that little tongue. And then here he is with his handler. Just so darling. So I was just obsessed when I saw that little thing. But you know, I have my own cute little my cute little Pudgy, he's better because he's Blackie Humphrey. Oh, Blackie Humphrey's so sleepy. But yes, so I must recommend, if you're in the New York area and get the chance, do go see Boop if you want to have a good time. It's silly, like I said. They come from the black and white world to try and find Betty because it's just not the same without her in the movies, and everything is falling apart without Betty Boop, and wackiness ensues. But it's just lighthearted fun. And the colors and the costumes. Oh, and they're not allowed to perform at the Tony Awards, even though they would have paid the $330,000 that you have to pay. But they're not nominated for Best Musical. And Smash isn't allowed to perform either, but they're letting Just in Time, the Jonathan Groff show about Bobby Darin, and they're letting Real Women Have Curves, which only received 2 nominations, less than Boop. Those shows are getting to perform. So it's not fair. I do wish they could let Boop perform. Anyway, what are you going to do? So if you get a chance, go see Boop. I'm sure it'll tour. I'm worried that it's going to close because without that Tony number to boost ticket sales, I don't know. The numbers haven't been that great lately. Anyway, but let's focus on the positives. And wouldn't it be something if Jasmine Amy Rogers won at the lead actress on Sunday night over Audra McDonald and Nicole Scherzinger, and of course the other nominees. But those are the 2 front runners. Anyway, we'll see what happens. It's a very exciting year. Okay, I will see you all the next time that it's Christmas time. Speaking of cute cartoon characters, look at that.